Just wow. Again, I want to be very, very clear. This is not the filthiest lot that's ever come into this house. We've had far dirtier lots that come into this house. So this is dead leaves and grass, I guess. Pine needles, by the looks of it. I've seen worse. But the plus side, the absolute plus side, I mean, I'm going brick by brick right now. I am absolutely just going brick by brick, just because that's the way it's going to work. But the amount of old dark gray in this lot, for me, and again, not too many people care anymore, but for me, dark gray is necessary. So this is why I'm doing a brick by brick sort of this, and I'm probably going to keep, quote unquote, the Lego. now to be said, all broken Lego bricks are not going into my bin of doom, because they're not washed. They're going to go back into that bin, which is going to go to Valley Village. So, oh, it was just here. There it is. Okay, I'm going to pull that out because I want to show you that. The usually, it's been very rare. It's not unique, but it's been very rare that I get a used lot that goes from a range before I was born consecutively through the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and into the 2000s. That usually when I get a used lot that has a disparate range of ages in it, it's usually 60s, early 70s, a blank spot of 20 years, and then the 90s and 2000s. I've had lots of lots like that, where you have the old basic bricks, the old logos and stuff like that, and that's from the kids were young, and then they grow up, they have their own kids 20 years later, and then they buy Lego for those kids. I get lots like that. I get a lot of lots like that. Most of my lots are usually within 20 years, oldest to newest parts that I notice in there. But this lot here seems to be 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. I recognize this build. I honestly, it's the top of a hammer. I don't know, I don't think it was Exoforce. Ninjago, I don't know. I remember just building that, and it had a handle on it for the guy. Somebody will remind me of what it was from. That's very recent. I'm not saying the last 10 years, possibly the last 10 years. And lots of Bionicles. Lots of new blay and new dark blay, and lots of old blay, old gray, and old dark gray. But even going back, this is what I found so far, and this is absolutely worth the drive to Acton. Yes, they're quite faded. I don't care. I'm not finished yet. So there's the 8681. Having 1x1 printed bricks. Now, and also this guy. Now this guy is going way back. So it's a 1x1 round brick with no groove on the bottom. And it looks like it had some sort of logo. I'm not sure if that's marker or if it had a picture on there. Because I do know Lego had little tiny gas stations way back in the day that I think used a 1x1 round brick. So I'm not sure if these had paint on there or printed, or if that's somebody just put a marker on it afterwards. But it is a 1x1 round brick with no groove in the bottom. So that's ancient in the grand scheme of things. Also, this guy, not ubiquitous, but I ran out because I explorians and insectoids and blah 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 that I reconstituted. I always talk about the 2x4 wheel brick. It's right there. And a could be town, but I'm thinking it's space. I haven't found the rest of them yet. Not too many minifig parts in here, and that's fine. The clear bottom of the treasure chest. That's fantastic. So, it's already buried in here. I found the 1x2 luggage. It's been a while since I got a piece of luggage in a used lot. I think I have maybe 2 dozen luggages like that somewhere in the collection. But here's my dilemma. It's honestly like some of this. It's honestly like they went rooting through our garbage can in 1977 and grabbed the melted bricks from the big melt. Some of them. So this is where I'm going to go with this. So on the right is a new 1x8, and the left is an old 1x8, and you can just tell that from the bottom. But those, I mean, they still work together. That's what's going to happen. You look at this. It's a 2x8, and you can see how warped it is. Like, it's really warped, and it's actually faded. So here's a blue brick next to the other blue brick. That's not new blue. This is supposed to be this color. There's some other blue in here that's old, but has the right color to it. But you can see on the top, I can get the logo showing here. Hopefully you can see that. And this, what I wanted to show you is how warped the CA bricks got. Just look at that. Now, do I want to keep these? Like, what am I going to do with warped Lego bricks? Like, very warped. We threw them out when I was 10. But I just love that logo. This is the logo I had when I was a kid. These are the bricks I remember. This is early 70s, late 60s. And again, so there's a whole bunch of red ones. Same thing, the warpness and the different things. And then even one yellow one that's pretty straight, but still from that era. And so what I started doing is I started sorting out the old pieces, putting them over there, and newer pieces over here. And even the plates, you can see, it's a little bit warped, but you can see the studs are a little higher on this guy. This is Samsonite, and the logo is very, very unique to Samsonite, and it changes from brick to brick. The other thing, again, I'm not Gary Estock. If you want to talk about vintage Lego and what exactly eras they come in, follow Gary Estock on Facebook. He is one of my good and dear friends. I've known him for 30 years now. Wonderful guy. But you got this guy, 1x2 plate. Let's see if we get the logo. There's the logo. But here's the back. And this one's pretty mint. Not too much scars on it. Like, I don't see any teeth marks at all. So it's got the fancy logo in the front, and it's got the little, not the pip. It's like a straight line between where the studs go. It's just fantastic. So, and fantastic condition. The other one, this is the bad one. So it's a 2x3 plate, and you can see it's basically a boat. And again, that's the CA carbonate acetate, whatever, did not seem to have the longevity as the ABS, I think, what they're using now. And you can't use that in a build. You really can't use that in a build. And this is, I think heat exacerbated the CA bricks, because I did an experiment a bunch of years back, and I think when I first had I wasn't even on my GoPro, I was on a different older than that, but I put a few pieces of Lego in a pot and put it on the stove just to reenact the big melt. But I only put like 3 or 4 pieces in there and left it on boiling for 20 minutes, and they basically came out looking like that, except worse. But the new pieces didn't do that. The new pieces did not deform. No, if I left them in there long, they probably would have deformed. But I noticed that the old pieces, because I just grabbed a handful of whatever piece I had, the old pieces warped really, really easily. So I don't know if I want to keep these old bricks that are warped. I'll keep the ones that are not warped for sure. But the ones that are warped, like, I don't have a use for them. And I mean, you can see it's unusable. So this is the dilemma of mine that I have right now. My old favorite 2x3 door. And I got a 3x6 window somewhere in here. Oh, and a printed tile. Yay. And a black brick that's also very warped, a plate that's very warped. I don't know if I want to keep them. So this is my dilemma. Do I just put them back in the bin? As I say, I'll keep the good ones like this white 2x8. You can see it's got the old logo on it, but it's pretty not bent, so that's okay. But this guy, he's just brutal. He's just brutal, and this one I think is the worst of them all. He's really done. And the blue's faded, so that means to me, because I know bricks fade after being boiled, as I found out, it even feels soft. This could have been left in the sun too, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to make a determination. I also found this guy, and this is even older logo on the top. I hope that you can see the logo on the top. Some of them are very wide that take up the entire stud on this era. And this one is the original, almost scriptive Lego on there. So this has got to be 60s. But that's a good condition, 1x1. Yeah, so lots of dark gray. And I don't know if you own insectoids or they own insectoids, or if this piece came in different sets than insectoids. I can't remember, and I don't have Bricklink up in front of me. But a bunch of those. I mentioned I got a bunch more of those, and this guy. So I think Rock Raiders. I think, or maybe, and I wanted to show you this. I'm going to dig into this pile here a little bit, if I can find it easily. I think Life on Mars was in here. I think this piece is Life on Mars. So that's kind of cool, and yeah, cool. So I am going to go brick by brick through this thing, and possibly keep, quote unquote, all the good Lego, and just put the rest back in a minute and take whatever's left back to Valley Village. But as you can see, I got this lot so far is about 80% Lego, 70% Lego, and 30% not Lego or broken Lego. So and so I plan on having a pretty big pile over here when all this is done. I'm amazed. Oh, here's Steven Spielberg camera. So, but I am making two different piles, old Lego versus new Lego-ish. The one thing I forgot to mention is that this is a 1x1 jumper plate, but it has no groove in the bottom. So this is a specific range of late 70s, I think, that piece, because they put the groove on it in the early 80s. Other than that, here's an owl, probably. So I think, yeah, there's a couple. I found a Harry Potter torso without arms. It's in here somewhere. So I know Harry Potter's in here as well. And so I think some of the dark gray and light gray came from the original Harry Potter sets. So that's kind of cool. The wheels for the castle sets. I'm going to try. I am honestly hoping that there's more 1x1 bricks with the. This is a reason. Oh, where is it? This is another reason why I think there's Life on Mars in here, because that's whatever turquoise or whatever color that is. What is this? A panel. This is exciting. I keep on stumbling across. Oh, this is one of those cute little things. I keep on stumbling across a part that goes, yes, I've had this part before, but not too many times in my life. And so this is a very, very worthy lot to have. It's going to take a little bit of work, a little bit of elbow grease. I've never been scared of work or, doing this kind of stuff. And I do find sitting here, I might jump on the group later quickly and say hi. We'll have to see, but I'm very happy right now. And I do thank my friend for giving me the box. And yeah, this is going to be a little bit of fun. So I will keep you more updated. This is only 15 minutes, so talk to you guys soon. Hope everybody's safe. Talk to you. Safe. I hope everybody is safe.